Welcome to Standard Chartered TV. My name is Edwin, and with us today is Sundeep Bhandhari, the Regional Head of Global Markets Northeast Asia for Standard Chartered Bank. A warm welcome.
Thank you, Edwin.
A lighter topic this time, and then this one where there are two schools of thoughts around corporate social responsibility. On one side, one could argue companies should only pay their taxes and abide by the law and leave improving the community to the governments. What's your take on that, and what's the bank's take on that?
First of all, I don't agree with that statement. And why? A bank is part of the community. We are an integral part, like where a doctor is. People come to the bank for advice, help. They trust the bank with their savings. So, we can't divorce ourselves from the community. But to have a really blunt answer, to attract talent, to attract people to an organisation, today they want to work for an organisation that has other aspects other than paying salary. They want to know that a company they work for contributes back to the community or is involved in the community. Now, take Standard Chartered Bank. One of the reasons I was attracted to Standard Chartered Bank, I read the report and account, I read the bank's history, is that this bank has always had a passion for the community. Now, what I mean passion is that the staff want to do something. Now, why do they want to do something? What drives this? If you look at the presence of the bank, Africa, relatively poor countries, lots of challenges, HIV, AIDS, poverty, water shortages. Middle East, relatively rich. Move across to Asia, again, very mixed in terms of the development of many of the countries, from going from India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh to North Asia. Very different development. So we are in these markets, and if I approximately maybe 40% of the bank's staff work in countries where there are high levels of poverty. And if you take one country, for example, China and India, 1 billion people each. According to the UN World Bank, nearly half the population, or slightly below that, live on less than $1 a day. So, we work in countries where actually being part of the community is very important for us. And, things that the bank does really well, seeing is believing. This was started way back in early 2002. And it was really about restoring one eyesight for one member of staff. As of today, we have restored 2 million eyesight. Now, why is eyes very important? Think about this. Nearly 75 to 80% of the world blind is in our markets. And if you're blind, and if you meet somebody who's blind, and I have a very good friend, getting a job, not easy. If you've got a family, self-esteem, confidence, these are all things which face blind people. Now, if you can restore an eyesight, self-esteem, confidence, economic contribution to the country, so this is something which has a real impact. And we're very proud of the fact that we have restored 2 million eyesights. And I feel good about that. I visit some of the eye hospitals, and it's absolutely invigorating when you see somebody get eyesight restored. Now, our goal there is to get to approximately 10 million eyesights. Okay? Now, another area, HIV/AIDS awareness. Why should we care about that? Well, one, again, in many of our markets, this is an issue that is facing people. In Africa, in South Asia, it's there. And for us, we educate all our staff on a mandatory learning program on HIV/AIDS awareness. What does it mean? Because often there's a lot of misunderstanding about what HIV/AIDS awareness is. I can go on. We have a thing called Nets for Life, which is about malaria. Again, Malaysia is a good example of high levels of malaria. We can help people there. So, the bank feels the community is important because the staff feel it's very important. So for us to say to our employees, we don't believe in the community, we will not attract the right sort of people who want to build a long-term business which is sustainable. So it's about attracting talent also and being the employer of choice. So in my personal opinion, this statement you start off with is not compatible in today's society at all.
Oh, in that case, on a more positive note, then, what do you think would get companies to do more?
One big theme which the bank is heavily involved in is sustainable lending. The bank feels very, very important about how it lends its money. We will not get involved, for example, in projects which are environmentally damaging. We are an early subscriber to what they call the Ecuador principles, which is the types of projects around the world you get involved with, the nature of environment impact. We believe in essentially being a force for good. And if you talk to our broad set of employees and also our shareholders, this is something they think is very important. It differentiates the bank. Now, in today's competitive world, you need to differentiate. And differentiation through working with the community, passionately, caring about the environment, will attract great talent.
So looking ahead, any big projects coming up for the bank?
Well, I think the biggest project currently is to achieve our aspiration of restoring 10 million eyesight. And to give you an example, some things we do as marathons. For every contribution that the bank receives from staff, for example, okay, the bank matches it, dollar for dollar. And I don't think you probably not heard of this, but we give 2 days paid leave for any employee who wants to do community service. 2 days paid leave. So if I had to leave some messages for you to think about, it's about people. We are part of the community. Okay? And thirdly, we want to make a difference to the community and the environment that we support. This brings business benefits for us. Okay? Loyalty of customers. 1. 2, staff retention. And 3, in terms of the wider environment, we are seen as a bank that cares.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.